Hey, good morning, everybody. I am the amateur day trader, and I wanted to take a couple of seconds to go over some trades that I made yesterday. First thing to note is that overall, I consider yesterday a bad trading day for me. I did end up making a little bit of money, like very little. It was almost perfectly break even, but I did end up in the green. But the reason is that I had an appointment right at the market open, and then so I left and came home after an hour and just sort of jumped into trading. I try not to do that. I'm sure as I gain more experience and become a more advanced trader, I'll be able to do that. But in general, my rule is if I'm not around for the market open to be able to watch price action and movement and all that good stuff, that I don't trade that day. So I did break one of my rules yesterday, which to me, excuse me, says it was a bad trading day overall. That in mind, I want to take a look at the couple of trades that I did take. So this is a chart for SBET. You can see the open right here at 9:30. Had a really strong open and then a pullback. I would have loved to have get in right here, but I was not home yet. So I actually ended up getting home right around here. It's like 10:45 range. And what I noticed was that this was shaping up to possibly be a 920 trade. So we pulled back to this 20 EMA line. And what's interesting here is that normally you do a 920 on a 2-minute chart. That is some advice I got from Bear Bull Traders, a community that I am a member of. That's not a plug or an affiliation or anything like that. I make no money off of saying that. I'm just saying that that's where I got the idea. Usually they do this on a 2-minute chart, but I've been kind of playing around with it on a 5-minute chart. And here it sort of worked out. You can see we rode the 9 SMA line sort of all the way up, and then we pulled back to the 20. And that is where I took my entry. And then this was a partial. I was hoping to kind of have this continue to go up. And then there was a lot of sort of hesitation here. And you can even see that the volume was pretty low. So, I just didn't feel like it was very strong. I was hoping for it to keep going up, but kind of felt like it wouldn't. So I closed my position out there, and you can actually see I closed pretty close to the highest point I could have there, and then it tanked out. So overall, I'm happy with that trade. I'm going to play around a little more with the 920 on a 5-minute chart because I've done it a couple of times. Haven't tracked it real tightly, but I've done it a couple times, and it seems to work out okay. That's not advice. It's just what I'm doing. Later in the day, so this was an interesting one that went partly on feel, and I'll sort of explain what I was thinking here. So after this drop that came down below really all of our significant lines, right? The 9, the 20, the 50, VWAP, really everything. We kind of came down, and then we had this period of consolidation right here, from about, looks like 2230 down to 2197. So this range here, we were pretty much trading sideways. And what I was waiting for was to see whether this was going to break up above this point or kind of down below this point and continue to tank down. Had it broken down, my target would have been probably close to the pre-market low here of 2135. But as soon as I saw this peak above this range right here, you can see I took my entry at about, looks like 2236, 2237. I did a partial at 2252 because I started getting a little worried that, because we were getting close to VWAP, I was afraid it was going to bounce and kind of tank back down. So I actually took that partial a little earlier than I normally would have. And then I closed out my position once I got a little bit above VWAP as well, which, I could have obviously held on to that longer. You can see sort of for the rest of the day. We kept climbing up. The reason I didn't is because I am still building my confidence as a trader, right? And I still fall into that trap where, once I make a little bit of money, I go, oh no, what if it goes away? And I don't yet have the discipline I need to deal with pullbacks like this and realize I'm still profitable, right? My entry was down here. I'm still profitable, so just wait it out and let it keep going up, right? So you can see here I closed out my total position at about 22.74, and I entered at about 22.34. So it was 40 cents, but it could have been from 22.34. We'll just say, let's say I exited on this candle right here that looked like it was trying to push down. Could have been up to 23.35, right? So that could have been $1 per share profit. That's something I'm working on, but I just wanted to go over those couple of trades today. You can see I took a couple other trades here. This one's pretty obvious, A, B, C, D. That one's pretty straightforward. And then this one actually was I was looking for another bounce off of this 20 EMA line. It wasn't because I was taking a 920 trade. It's a little late in the day to do that, but because I saw sort of we're trending up overall. So I was just trying to see if I could ride that to the end of the day. This is where in my brain I was thinking, hey, what if this just kind of keeps going up for the rest of the day? Unfortunately, I got stopped out. My stop was a little too tight. You can see that I just barely got stopped out here, and then it took off for the rest of the day, just like I was hoping. But lost a little bit of money on that one. That's okay. Just wanted to show it to you and show where my mind was and what I was thinking. That said, another trading day is opening in just a few hours. So good luck, everybody. Pay attention, keep your mind in the game. Don't go on tilt. Don't let your emotions get the best of you. If you find yourself getting angry or upset or frustrated or even too excited or too happy, take a break or call it a day. You don't have to trade, right? You can do it when you're in a good mindset, make a couple of bucks, and move on with your day. Again, I am the Amateur Day Trader, and have a great day, everybody.